One come all, those short, those tall. There may be some clowning around, but you'll get an earful all in all. No need for waivers, no need for saviors. Don't be frightened, do not hide. Enter now and enjoy the ride. So step right up, those far and near. The attraction is set. It's Ear for Fear.
Welcome to the Ear for Fear podcast. This is the podcast that talks about scary movies or movies trying to be scary. I'm Rick. I got Danny Snyder back in the house. What's up, brother?
Not much, man. How about you?
Hey, same old, man.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for coming on out. I was thinking about this. It's been a while. I think you were on the American Psycho episode. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I mean,
and
that
was that like 2 years ago?
I was about to say, yeah, it's like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry it's been so long. I've been meaning to have you out, but I guess the proper word would be I've been lazy with the podcast. I think the last episode I did was Nosferatu, which I totally hated, and I'm going to keep saying that. I thought it was a piece of crap, but whatever. And that was 3 or 4 months ago. And I think I've just been, busy, again, lazy. And so I'm glad you're out, man. Appreciate you coming on out. Today, you and I are going to be talking about 2025's Popeye the Slayer Man.
They're, aware of the charming stories circulating about this place.
I don't believe in ghost stories.
He's not a ghost. The Sailor Man is real.
You like that? That's my what do you call that? Just my little snippet, I guess. I wish I could say I put that together myself, but no, I took it from the internet. So, anyways, let's do a quick synopsis. Let's see. A group of friends sneak into an abandoned spinach canning factory to investigate the legend of the Sailor Man, who is said to haunt the factory and local docks. So, I guess before we jump into this, it's been a little bit since you've been out. So talk to me a little bit about Grave Mistake. That's the band you're in. That way, because I'm going to hopefully release this one here in a few days. So people will be able to hear it. So talk to me. What do you got going on right now with the band?
Yeah, definitely. So since I was on this podcast last, I actually signed with the new startup label based out of Tampa called License to Drive Records. Okay. And I'm currently working on my second EP for the project right now. I've been recording that since about November or so. And at this point, we're probably looking at about a summer release for it.
Sweet. Okay.
So, yeah, that's been going very, very well. Yeah. Working with like a lot of my super close friends in the industry. Going to have some fairly big names involved in the project here.
Really?
So it's going to be a good time.
And you can't talk about any of it right now, right?
Not too much.
That's
not
okay.
Too much.
That's okay. I respect that. Okay, but let's talk about the floor.
Oh, yeah.
So the game show on, I believe it's Fox.
Correct.
With Rob Lowe. You were on that.
I was on season 2.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You're gonna have to tell me a little bit now. What was awesome is your category, and I don't know if people are familiar with the game show, but when you go in, and you could probably explain this better, you have a category that you specialize in, and the whole idea is that hopefully you're really good at it, and you essentially beat somebody at it, right?
Correct, yes.
And the ones you chose was Halloween movies.
That is correct, and I'd say I was pretty qualified for that.
You never got a chance to use it because now I watched the episode. Was it politics you got knocked off on?
Yeah, so the category I lost on was failed political candidates.
Oh, Jesus.
So what I'm studying for that, I'm expecting to see people like Hillary Clinton, Bob Dole, or Kamala Harris, people like this. Yeah. No, they put on celebrities who ran as like a joke like 40 years ago.
What, wasn't Gary Coleman one of them?
Gary Coleman is the one that I lost on. And to this day, I'm in an open feud with Gary Coleman, who's been famously dead since I was like 10.
He's been dead for a while.
Yeah.
And what's hilarious is I grew up watching Different Strokes. Different Strokes was the show he was known for. He was in other stuff too. He had some movies along the way, but Different Strokes was this sitcom back in, God damn, I want to say it was almost like late 70s, maybe early 80s.
Yes, before my time.
Way before your time. But I watched it, and I loved the first maybe season or two, and then after that, I wasn't a huge fan. But it's funny that you lost on Gary Coleman.
I mean, I literally only knew him from his cameo on Drake and Josh as an adult. So,
he had a cameo on that?
yeah, for like one episode. That's the only thing I knew him from.
Really? I remember, like, he didn't do a lot of stuff, like, later on, but I know he was on, like, I swore he was on, like, a Norm Macdonald movie, Dirty Work or something like that.
Could have been something like that.
Yeah, I think there was, like, some weird flashback thing, and he was in it, but yeah, that's hilarious. When I watched it, you passed a lot, didn't you?
I did, because
Because you don't know anybody.
Yeah, and a lot of thing is my strategy was if I don't know it, like immediately pass. Because when you pass, you take a 3-second hit on your timer.
Okay.
So my strategy was, do I want to take a 3-second hit or do I want to burn 6 seconds trying to figure out who this person is?
Think about it. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. So you got to tell me. Okay. So what was Rob Lowe like? Did you get a chance to like talk with them, get to know him a little bit? Like, or do they keep him away from everybody?
Some people got to have some more time to chat with Rob Lowe. Basically, what you saw on screen of me, that was the extent of my interaction with him.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's
like, some of the people who made it multiple rounds got to have some more banter with him. But yeah. What you saw is what you got with my duel.
With Rob Lowe. Yeah. Like, and okay, so I was watching it, and is it all done in one day? Because it looks like everyone has the same clothes on.
So it's funny, dude. Looking at Facebook groups, Instagram comments, the Reddit thread for the show, that is like the number one question is how many days you guys film over? It is filmed over a course of 5 days.
Okay.
And the contestants actually bring 2 identical copies of the same outfit that get dry cleaned at the end of every filming day.
Is that right? Okay.
So it is done over 5 days. There's duplicates, and the producers dry clean them all.
Is it like? I mean, were you had to have been nervous, right? Like, because I was watching it and I was nervous for you. I like, you get up there and it seems very intimidating, even if you know the stuff. It's like the bright lights and the fact there's a timer and there's millions of people watching you. Like, you were nervous at all?
I really wasn't, no. I was definitely locked in. I was focused, but I was definitely not nervous.
Yeah.
Especially since I went up at the end of the 4th filming day, so by that point, I'd seen countless duels go through. I've been on sets of music videos and that kind of thing before. I've been on TV plenty of times, so it was nothing that was new to me necessarily.
I see. I would have like froze. you watch these things, right? And you're like, oh, I could do better. And then when it happens, you're like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, dude.
Even Halloween movies, like, I know horror movies, right? But when I'm standing across from someone and then all of a sudden there's this timer on, I don't know, like, would I freeze up? Would I remember them? Like, would I totally screw them up, embarrass myself?
And what just killed me, man, when I watched my category finally get played, because I lost before I got to play it, I would have absolutely pulverized that category.
Really?
I would have torn it to shreds.
The person who did it, did they do a good job or no?
He did about as good a job as I think a lot of people would.
Yeah.
As we're talking, it wasn't his own category. He wasn't even anywhere near it until after I lost, and that category got inherited by the person who had like the biggest piece of territory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought he did very, very well, actually.
Yeah. Were they ahead of time? Do they go, okay, there's going to be 100 movies and, study them, or it's just you on your own studying them?
It's you on your own studying. You have no idea what's going to pop up.
Because I feel like they're not going to do like something obscure, right? It's going to be, I'm not going to say super mainstream. I'm sure at the beginning it's very mainstream, right?
Yeah.
And then as it goes along, it becomes a little less. So
It becomes more and more difficult.
a little more difficult. Yeah.
Like I would say a good example of that was the baseball logos duel that happened. It was like I started off with a bunch of MLB teams,
Yeah.
and then the second that you get into AAA minor league, it was just pass.
They did that?
because they ran out of major league teams. So the second
'cause
they got
there's
into
only,
minor
what,
league,
32. I think there's 32 baseball
Something
teams.
like that,
Something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
so there was duels like that where they literally ran out of mainstream options.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess I could see that, right? Because if you got two decent people going back and forth, there's only so many you can do.
Exactly.
What's
And a
the
lot of duels like that.
what is the time limit when it starts? How long is it? Is it 60 seconds or
So it is 45 seconds, if I
Okay.
recall correctly.
Okay.
And there is a new, there was a new aspect added in season 2 that if you win 3 duels in a row, back to back to back, you earn a 5-second time boost that you can
I
use.
saw that. That comes in handy though, I'm sure.
That does come in handy. It's like there was a couple people, including Angie, very sweet lady who was right next to me on the floor. She got that time boost in like the second episode, and nobody wanted to come near her with a 10-foot
I remember,
pole
yes,
because
I
of that
remember her.
deterrent.
Yeah. I mean, 5 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot.
Especially on a show like this.
Yeah.
Like, think about how many duels literally came down to the last second for both contestants.
True, man. Do you still talk with or hang out with any of the folks from the show?
So we have a WhatsApp group chat that like 85 out of 100 contestants, like something like that, are in, and it's blowing up every single day.
Yeah.
Like we filmed in August of 2024, and we're still constantly in contact with each
That's
other.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, that seems like, I mean, when you texted me you're going to be on, I was like, that's pretty cool. You know, it's like, so that, yeah, I started watching and I'm like, okay, what episode is going to be on? But I would pause it, right? I'm watching like the first episode or 2 and I pause it and I'm like, I don't see him. And I'm like, okay. And then a couple episodes in, I could kind of see you in the background, you know. I'm like, oh, that's him right there.
And then as it gets closer and closer and
a little
closer,
more and more, yeah.
what I was kind of bummed about, something that got cut from one of the final episodes, the episode that was going to air the week of Halloween. I actually had some good banter with Rob Lowe about why I love Halloween movies so much and why it meant so much to me. But because the World Series went on during that week, my episode got bumped and I didn't get to see that.
Man, that sucks. Do they give you any of the footage, like, so you can have it, or no? Or is it just, it's the studios and that's it?
Nothing that got cut. Like, I got some promotional stuff of, like, my duel. They sent me a couple GIFs, actually, that I got to use on social media.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
dude.
anything that was cut from the show, I didn't get.
No, that's pretty cool though, dude. Yeah. Well, hopefully, you know, you'll have something else here, you know, maybe in the near future. I know you can't talk about it, but maybe something will come up and you'll do something else. And
I'm certainly hoping to, man.
Yeah.
It's like, especially with like, if I can get something with those same group of producers, that'd be awesome. They were all fantastic.
Yeah.
I love the producers to death.
that's
of the
cool,
floor.
man. Well, shit, that's cool, man. Well, I wanted to at least chat about it because I hadn't seen you in a bit, and I knew I was going to have you on. I at least wanted to, because I was really curious. You know, I wish you had like a cool Rob Lowe story, but that's fine. It's whatever.
I do too, man. But I mean, hey, it was a blast. Filmed out in Ireland, so
It's filmed in Ireland?
Oh yeah, haven't I ever told you that?
No.
Yeah, so they actually flew me out to Dublin, Ireland, and put me up there for like a week.
Oh, dude, seriously?
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
So it was the experience of a lifetime, man.
You're
Wouldn't
gonna
trade
have
it
to,
for the world.
once we're done with this, you're gonna have to tell me some stories about that because
Totally,
I
dude.
want to definitely go to Ireland. So, but all right, man. I guess before we jump into it, full spoilers.
1, 2, spoilers coming for you.
All right, so Popeye the Slayer Man,
Oh God.
another public domain horror movie, and I think. I know we've had some of them. I know I have not seen any of those Winnie the Pooh ones. I know there's one of Steamboat Willie. I think it's called Screamboat. I had chatted to you about maybe us doing that, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Like I didn't even know where to get it. And so then we kind of went with Popeye the Slayer Man. It just look, going into this thing, I knew I guess I had in my mind, I knew this isn't going to be a great movie. But I wanted something kind of cheesy and goofy and just doesn't take anything serious. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I actually enjoyed this movie. I thought this was going to be a total piece of crap. IMDb has it like 3.5. honestly, man, this was like a 5 or so for me. And I'm shocked to say this because I think I'm kind of a snob these days with horror movies. And I went into this thinking, okay, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. And I was like, okay, this isn't bad. It's not like the acting was horrible. It wasn't like the story was bad or the kills I thought were good.
Oh, the kills were probably my favorite part. There were some pretty gory.
Right? Like there were some good kills in here. Like this wasn't like terrible. Like, I mean, during us talking about this, sure, there's going to be a few things, but I've seen far worse movies than this, horror movies than this.
I would agree.
That I saw in the theater. So it was supposed to be better or took itself more serious, and I was bored with it. This, I wasn't really bored. Like I was entertained. Like, sure, there's some dead stuff during along the movie. There's some dialogue. It's not great, but it's fine. Like I didn't have an issue with it, right?
Exactly. It wasn't excessive is the thing.
Exactly, right? It's not like they knew what they were doing with this movie. It's not like we're going to get an Academy Award acting,
Yeah, they were well aware of what this movie was going to be.
Right? And so I was fine with it. Like I said, I had fun with it. I was entertained. I thought there were some cool things that I thought they did. I was like, did I just see that? Like that was actually done really well. Like there's some dialogue at the beginning of the movie. Dexter is so you got these college students, and Dexter wants to shoot this documentary about the urban legend of Popeye the Sailor Man, and so the legend here is that he's at this canning company that it's been abandoned for like 20 years or something like that.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah. And so he's like, okay, so he finds out that they're going to sell the property and tear it down and build condos. And so he wants to get over there and do this documentary before they tear it down. So he enlists a few of his friends, right? Like a total horror movie, right?
As you do, yeah. Very reminiscent of Blair Witch, I would say.
Yeah. And so what's funny is you got this dialogue between, I think her name is Lisa, his blonde friend, and this guy that she likes. And I think his name was Seth. I think it was Seth
yeah.
Because they're both into each other. But they have this little banter back and forth. And of course, it's like some sexual innuendo stuff like, hey, I'll be on top. And she goes, well, what if I'm on top? And then later in the movie, when they die, she ends up on top of him.
Yep.
And I was like, that's actually kind of cool.
Okay, yeah, nice callback there.
Yeah. I was like, they just did that. I was actually impressed. Like, because, like, I would say bigger budget movies don't even do cool little shit like that, And so we got Dexter. So he's like the main dude, right? He's the guy doing the documentary. Olivia, which she's there to help, but he likes her. And she's kind of this mysterious character, which is funny because I don't know about you, but I knew right away, like, okay, she's going to end up being like Popeye's daughter. Like, right?
They were definitely setting it up for that, man.
Olivia, mysterious character that no one really knows.
It was just easy to tell from the beginning of the movie, just like, okay, so she is the main protagonist here who's going to survive.
She's going to survive, yeah. And I kind of thought Dexter would probably survive. You can always tell with these movies, like, who's going to get it. Like the douchebag boyfriend of Katie. I forget that. I think it was Joey. The one who's obviously hurting her, right? Because there's a scene where she's pointing and there's a bruise on her arm. So he's that douchey guy. And his little buddies, I forget what their names
Yeah, they had like a whole posse of people that are just
it was like two other dudes, and they're just douchebags. Like they're the typical like horror movie kind of douchebags. And they're going to die.
Exactly.
You already know this. And so they go to this canning. Dude, did you catch this? The canning, it was called Anchor Bay Canning. And now, are you familiar with Anchor Bay? Now, again, I know you're younger than me. Anchor Bay was this entertainment company, and they may still be around. I just don't know if they're as popular as they were, say, 20 years ago. But they did a lot of kind of low budget horror movies. And so I was like, is this like, are they kind of like paying homage to Anchor Bay?
Okay, yeah, because I was unfamiliar with that. Yeah, that's kind of a neat little nod there.
Right, yeah. And I was like, it's got to be, I can't imagine they would use that, and then not being like some sort of callback to this kind of studio, And so I thought that was kind of cool. At least for some of us older folks, I caught it right away. But they go to the canning building, and with the intent of let's do some digging around, let's see what we can find, and let's see if Dexter can get anything noteworthy to make this documentary. And then of course, Popeye the Sailor Man shows up. But before that, there was this at the very beginning. This is what I like about certain movies. Like you get straight to it right off the bat. Like you don't dick around, you go straight to it. And there was a scene at the beginning where this woman is running away from two guys. And I didn't understand that. Did she steal their drugs? I don't know if it's really relevant. But to me, it's like she had something of theirs.
Exactly. She was not fully innocent in that situation.
No, not at all. And they end up, she gets inside the building and breaks the lock, and of course Popeye shows up and does some killing. And again, these aren't bad kills, right? I think one guy got his head caved in, and the other one, I think his wrist was snapped, so the bone was sticking out.
That happened a lot, man. Yeah.
Right? This happened more than once. I think if I had an issue, I was like, okay, with me seeing so many horror movies, like I'm okay seeing a certain kill, but I don't want to see it multiple times in a movie.
I think probably the most creative one, like my favorite kill in the entire movie, and you're probably going to see this coming. I think her name was Margot when she was at the docks, got scalped through the door.
Oh, yes.
And
that
then
was
thrown into a
dude.
trash compactor.
Dude, that was messed up. She was the realtor. So I think she's selling the property. And then the owner, so she has this, she meets up with the owner of the building, I think earlier on in the movie. Hey, we're going to sell the property, blah, blah, blah. She leaves, she drops like her notebook or I don't know if it was a notebook.
Yeah, it was like a notebook, a file, something like that. Yeah.
Something with like the paperwork. I probably had all the contract work.
Yeah.
She comes back to get it, and then, she gets chased and scalped. And I thought that was pretty cool. And then, and it wasn't bad enough you got scalped, but then you throw her into a damn trash compactor. That's so fucked up, dude.
No, that was definitely, that was my favorite part of the movie.
I'll tell you, my favorite was the one guy who was friends with the douchey boyfriend who was beating up on, I think her name was Katie. And he kind of gets fucked up, right? He gets his wrist snapped, and then he's running away, and he steps on the board with the nail in it, goes straight through his foot, and then he's crawling his ass to the dock. And this is what I loved about this movie is it had those standard tropes that we see, right? You're running and the killer is walking, but is somehow right behind you, like literally right behind you. Or when they separate and they always separate in movies. Like, hey, you go here and you go here. And it's like, it never works out. That one girl at least even said, really? We're going to separate? Dude, I love shit like that because they're making fun of the obvious. It's like you never separate in a horror movie. Stay together. You're going to have a better chance if there's 6 of you versus like groups of like 2. Anyway,
but nope, they're going to do it anyways.
They're going to do it anyways. And when the dude was he was running, and then I think it got to a point where he just was crawling and he was on the dock, and you see Popeye grab the anchor. The metal anchor.
Dude, that one was great.
That one was fucked up, dude. And he
fucking decapitates him with his anchor.
Him. And then what does he say? He goes, anchor's away.
Anchor's away.
It's like little shit like, because again, it's just fun. It's not, you can't take any of this serious. And it was fun. And I thought the kill was pretty good. He literally decapitates him.
It was good practical effects on it too, man.
It was like, I thought there was some pretty good stuff. Like at first, Popeye himself, like his face looked kind of odd, and of course, I'm sure that was the intent.
Yeah,
I loved the arms. I love the big inflated arms.
That was perfect.
I don't know if this is before your time, but there was a movie in the early '80s with Robin Williams, and Robin Williams played Popeye, and I don't know if it was called I think it might have just been called Popeye, and it had Robin Williams in it, and it wasn't great, but it reminded me of those arms. It was very similar, you know.
Yeah, it's like the cartoonish, massive forearms. Yeah.
And then the fact that he's got this weird face, and what we're made to believe is the face is the result of the spinach that he's been eating.
Yeah, it's like toxic or mutated or something like that. Yeah.
So it's just over time, because he there, I think there was a picture somewhere in the building, and it showed him as just kind of a normal sailor guy. So so the contaminated spinach over time must have, changed his face.
Like, disfigured him.
But the fact that he smokes a pipe, I was just goofy shit like that. And then they had the little nursery rhyme. I don't remember what the nursery rhyme said, but I thought it was kind of funny. And it was in this one part of the building, and it was in on 4 different walls, and it was something like, if you smell the smoke, he's near, and I was like, I'm a sucker for horror movies that do like a nursery rhyme, and I thought I thought it was kind of cool, and so like I said, man, they're just playing on the whole goofiness of this. Like, I don't know why he never. I think the idea here is his wife, Olive Oil.
Yes.
I think she was a whistleblower because that canning department they were doing something where they were cutting corners.
Yep.
And stuff was happening. Whether that's ingredients or faulty equipment or whatever. And she was a whistleblower, and then I think they ended up killing her.
Yes.
And so and then she dies, or they kill her, and then he stays. They close down the canning building, whatever, and he stays. And I was thinking about this, was just because do you think he was eating the spinach and because it was contaminated, did it mess up his way of thinking? So he would never leave, and he was missing her, and he thought she would come back. Like, what were you getting from that? Is that kind of what you thought?
Kind of the way I viewed it. It kind of seemed like, well, one thing I noticed, there was no other food there. It's like that was the only thing that he had as an option to eat. And you kind of see a little bit in there how after he hadn't eaten for a while, he's looking at a picture of olive oil. He's starting to become like a normal person mentally again. The second he eats the spinach, is right back to being crazy. So absolutely, it's the spinach that's making him go insane.
Yeah. Because I think they said it closed down 20 years earlier. And we're not going to poke holes in this, but you think there was enough left over? Because spinach doesn't go bad, I don't think, man. I don't know. Maybe
that would be my guess.
I mean, well, I guess if it was normal spinach. Now, of course, this is contaminated, and so. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess that if that's your only substance, that's all you're eating for 20 years.
Yeah, and kind of what I gathered. From what I gathered, I kind of figured it was the spinach that got the plant shut down in the first place.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And then over the years, it gets more and more and more contaminated as it just sits there. So, I mean.
Oh, definitely. Because wasn't it like a toxic green?
Yeah, it was like glowing radioactive green.
That's never good.
It's like, look, I don't like spinach to begin with, man, but if it's radioactive green, screw that.
Foul, dude. I don't mind like spinach in a salad, but my dad used to, oh my God, the canned spinach. Dude, who the hell likes that? I can't imagine there's anyone out there that actually eats it and goes, yeah, this is good. It is foul, dude.
Dude, it tastes terrible.
It's foul. It's like this weird texture. It's almost slimy. I remember having to eat that as a kid, and I could never eat it all. No matter how much salt, pepper, whatever I was to put on it. Like, who the hell actually thought that was a good idea? It's gross.
Dude, yeah, seriously.
It's gross, dude. Like I said, I can take regular spinach on a salad or whatever in a sandwich, that's okay. But that shit in a can, dude, that would probably, over a course of 20 years, that would drive anyone mad.
That didn't have to be contaminated, man. Just 20 years eating nothing but that.
Okay, so this is going to sound stupid, but where is he getting his tobacco? Because he's smoking
That's a good question, man.
Where is he? Because he smokes a pipe. So where is he getting his tobacco? It's not like he's rolling out to like some, I don't know, smoke shop on the docks, near the docks, and he's getting his tobacco.
Yeah, no.
I know it's stupid. I'm just saying.
So yeah, plot holes, but obviously...
I'm okay with all of
obviously,
that.
producers were not looking that deep into it. They were just trying to make a fun movie. So
yeah, and I'm okay with it. Honestly, like I said, I wasn't expecting a lot from it, and I was pleasantly surprised. Like, I didn't mind some of the acting. I thought some of the dialogue was decent. I thought Dexter, I'll say the two people I thought were really good was Dexter and Olivia. Olivia, don't be surprised if you see her in other stuff.
it would not surprise me, man. Like,
I
this
thought
is
she was
definitely a
good.
good intro for her, dude.
For sure.
Yeah, she was an excellent actress in this movie.
She was really good. Lisa was okay. That Seth guy I wasn't really a fan of. It looked like he almost had a big old unibrow. I think there was some separation, but the boyfriend, I think Joey was okay. I loved how Popeye killed him. He literally ripped his arm off and beat him to death with it, which I thought was hilarious.
That was pretty creative.
That was hilarious, dude. The one guy, Joey's one friend, was his name Jesse?
Jesse.
The one where Popeye basically he crushes his head and then twists it around.
Yeah.
And I love that because it was, to me at least, it was reminiscent of some of the slasher movies that I saw in the 80s. Mm-hmm. When you got this, the one that comes to mind for me is Hell Night, and with Linda Blair. And it's where you have like a almost like a mongoloid killer. And they're like, their strength is superhuman. And so it's nothing to squish a head or twist it around, And so that's what that reminded me of. Like I said, there were certain things here that like it paid homage. Like I was telling you about the Anchor Bay thing, or just some of the kills as a whole. And then the, when Lisa died. Okay. So when Seth dies, he's trying to reach and he falls down. And then he's stuck in like a netting, and then he keeps pulling the netting, and then we start seeing that rebar, and we're like, okay, well, we've seen enough horror movies to know that's gonna
that's what's happening now.
That's gonna happen. And so, but what it kills me about these sort of movies, and again, it's not necessarily a trope, but it's something they do a lot of. No matter what's going on, like their friends are dying and they're running away from a killer, and they get to a point where they have a moment to stop. They always start making out. It's like, what? Like, would you do, like, seriously, a killer is after me. I've seen him kill some of my friends. I'm not going to stop to start making out.
No, but you can tell it was totally just taking a shot at those 80s slasher movies.
It was.
Man.
And that's
just
what
every stereotype you could think of, they were doing.
And I think that's why I liked it. And yeah, because she's starting to kiss the dude, and then the rebar falls him on and he dies. And then she goes literally to the same spot that he falls initially, and she falls on top of him and impales herself in the rebar. And again, I thought it was funny. Like
It was amusing.
It was right? It was goofy, and it was like, yeah.
Like, basically, the two douchiest characters of the entire movie had this Looney Tunes ass death. Like,
yeah, exactly. And I thought, and again, I thought it was funny. I mean, you roll your eyes and you go, "Oh my God, seriously?" But then it was like, but they're obviously making fun of it. It's not serious. None of this is serious.
No,
none of this is.
And that's really how you have to approach this movie. Don't go into this saying, like, oh, this is going to be the best slasher film of the year. It's like, no, this is like one step below Scary Movie in terms of being a serious movie.
For sure. But there are aspects in the movie like I thought some of the music was cool. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the acting wasn't terrible. I've seen far worse acting, dude.
And considering this was like a low budget, public domain kind of thing, I thought they did pretty good with what they had.
Yes. I enjoy movies that, and I've said this previously on some of the episodes, when you isolate the story to an area, for instance, in this movie, it's this canning facility. You know, in other movies, it could be a house. Yeah. And it's to me, I enjoy that because I know I'm not dealing with a limitless big area. And this was just isolated to a building. That's all this was. We get a little, you know, when the one guy got killed on the dock, but it's all part of the same kind of area.
Exactly.
And I like that stuff because from the outside, it looks like a big area. When they get inside, it looks like some of the same areas repeated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, didn't we just see this? Like, I think even the one guy goes, it seems like we're going around in circles. Again,
so they're acknowledging it.
They acknowledge it. They know it is. So I think that's why I enjoyed it. And then I'm trying to think some of the other kills. Katie ends up, I had a feeling Katie, we were going to see her at the end because we never see her die. You know, we think she's going to die because didn't her boyfriend Joey leaves her. He leaves her on the stairs.
Yep.
He shoots her thinking, you know, she's Popeye and then just leaves her ass on the stairs. And we're thinking, okay, she's going to die, but we never see the death.
And there's no resolution there.
None. So you have a feeling that at some point you're going to see her again. And we do. We see her at the end. She somehow survives, you know. But so as the movie goes on, Olivia and Dexter they're looking for their friends, but at the same time, they're kind of, investigating.
Yeah.
And they get to it looks like where he sleeps. And it's like a cot, you know, it's like a cot and it almost looks like a place like a normal person would sleep. And of course there's empty spinach cans. And then he's got this picture of a woman and a baby. And I had already thought Olivia was going to end up being his daughter. And that was the case here.
Exactly.
You know, I don't know where she went. Like, there was really no backstory on that. Like, did she get...
My assumption was maybe like a group home sort of situation or something like that. Maybe foster care.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like she was aware of the fact that she really didn't know who her own parents were.
That's true.
Or maybe she knew who her mother was because she clearly recognized Olive Oil as her mother.
Right, because Dexter goes, yeah, she's beautiful, and you go, you think? Or something like that. That's not a normal response, you know, unless you know that person.
Yeah.
You know, and so, yeah. So, obviously, Olive Oil was her mother. Who knows where she went? I don't know if it was a family member or, like you say, maybe foster care or something. But, I mean, there was in the picture, she was a baby, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's like a 20-year gap between... I think it was a 20-year gap from when...
I think she was in high school at the time, yeah.
Okay. So, maybe
like 15, 16 years, something like that.
Something like that, okay. So she ends up being the daughter of Popeye. And you could tell, like, there were a couple scenes where she says, hey, don't hurt him or something, and he listens, you know. Because I think ultimately this was people coming to the building where it's essentially his home, right? I mean,
yeah, like this is his space. It's all he's ever really known since Olive Oil had died.
Yeah. And so I think anyone, if you think about it, like this kind of reminds me of the movie Hatchet, right? Did you ever see Hatchet?
I haven't seen Hatchet.
Oh,
no.
Dude, you got to see Hatchet. Hatchet's kind of a cool, it's very gory, but it's kind of this cool movie. And these people are doing this tour, and they come upon this area in the swamp where it's basically his home. And so you know, if you trespass on anyone's home and you're a little fucked up in the head, you know, what's the end result going to be? I don't know, maybe some brutal killings, and that's kind of what we got here. Now, some of these people deserve to die. You know, they did.
Yeah, some of them were scumbags.
Some of them not so much. I didn't think Lisa and Seth were bad people, but some of the other ones were are assholes and they deserve to die, you know. And of course, why, you know, we're not going to have a slasher horror movie if we don't have some deaths like that. So there you go.
No.
You know, but as a whole, like this isn't an awful movie. It's not. Like, I've seen far fucking worse, and I've seen worse acting.
I think the biggest key is you have to approach this movie knowing it's not really meant to be taken seriously.
Exactly. I think if you do that, you're pleasantly surprised with this. I was, honestly, man, I was going to text you when I watched it, because I watched it yesterday. I was going to text you, but I was like, no, I'll wait. And I texted my buddy, and I was like, I was actually enjoyed this. Like, it's not the greatest horror movie I've ever seen. No. It's not supposed to be. This is just, they're taking the fact that these public domain figures, you can do whatever you want with them now. So why not make a horror movie? You know, and we're going to see an ass ton of these. I know. I think there's at least 2 or 3 other Popeye movies, horror movies. I don't know if they're out yet.
Yeah, I think they're in production. But yeah, I did see that they were like actually doing them.
And so whatever becomes, you know, public domain and anyone can do them, you're going to see a lot more of these. I thought I'd heard that, I don't know if it was Frankenstein? I thought I heard Frankenstein, or a character kind of like Frankenstein had become public domain. So I wonder if you're going to see that.
I mean, I think we're just about all the Universal monsters
are
getting to that point, dude. I mean, we're talking movies that came out 75, 80 plus years ago.
How long does it have to be until it becomes public domain? Is it a certain amount of years, or like do they get some sort of license for it, and then that license is only good for so long, and then it expires and you can't?
I think that's the situation, yeah. Because I know, like, Mickey Mouse has been extended countless times. I mean, characters existed for, 100 years and still not public domain?
Yeah.
So I think there is a set license for it, but you can extend it based off certain circumstances.
Interesting, yeah.
So I find out, for example, with Disney, Steamboat Willie is now public domain.
Yeah, which is that one Screenboat movie that it looks terrible, but again, I wouldn't mind checking it out. Because didn't Night of the Living Dead become public domain, and that's why
it might have, yeah.
Because I had heard, and I think I had read this somewhere, is the reason Tom Savini did the remake of Night of the Living Dead was because George Romero got screwed out of royalties from the initial Night of the Living Dead. So Tom Savini went and did the remake. That way, George Romero could get money for it, and I thought that's what I had read. I'm just curious on how long those licensings last. You know,
yeah, I've never really known.
Yeah,
it'd definitely.
I'd be curious to see what else we're gonna get with these, but you know, this one was goofy and cheesy and campy and fun. I don't think I'd watch it again, because I typically don't rewatch a ton of horror movies. But I think I would recommend it to someone. I'm like, go into it, don't expect a lot, and just have fun with it. It's not awful. Like the worst acting we saw was at the very end with the cops.
Yeah.
That was bad. Now I'm glad that lasted 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of checked out during that part. So.
Did you? Yeah, I was like, because I think the detective even made like someone said Popeye the Sailor Man. He goes, "You mean Popeye the Slayer Man?" I'm like, dude,
it's like,
you don't need to say that. The audience is smart enough to understand the title of the movie, and then the cop that rolled up. It almost seemed like it was a family member and they owed them one or something, because they were awful. Other than that, the rest of the acting was okay.
Yeah, it
was okay.
So you can tell, is introducing a lot of newer actors who weren't super seasoned, but it's like, that's fun.
But I honestly, like I was telling you, man, the Olivia and Dexter, I could see them doing other stuff. They were decent.
I definitely could picture that, yeah.
Yeah, you know. So
yeah, this could definitely be a good launch pad for their careers.
I think so too. Anything else that like we didn't touch on? Any death that was cool that we didn't talk about? The owner of the building, his, I don't know, Lynch, like his like muscle man, the guy that watches over all the properties. Didn't Popeye's he stepped on his head and exploded his head.
I think it was something like that.
Something
yeah,
like
some
that, wasn't it?
cartoonish explosion after he stepped on him. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm trying to think of any other deaths. I think we touched on.
We
most
really
of them.
covered the iconic ones, I think.
Pretty
so.
much, I think so. And they were, like I said, they were good. Like I think I watched like a review and someone said that the blood looked very liquidy, and I didn't really have an issue with it. Like,
I mean, it was all practical effects.
it's all practical stuff, and I love practical effects, good or bad. Like, I didn't think anything looked awful.
No.
You know, and then they did some good. Like I said, they did some cool things. Like, it could have been way worse, dude. We could have been, yeah.
Yeah, it could have been a
hell lot worse. So yeah, that's Popeye the Slayer Man. Yeah, I don't think I got anything else on it. Nothing else you want to add?
Yeah, I'd say we just about covered it, man.
I think
but yeah,
so. I think so too.
great movie to watch drunk. I'll say that.
Probably. I wasn't drunk watching it, but you're
Me
probably
either,
right.
but
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming out, but I appreciate it. Everyone, check out Popeye the Slayer Man if you want. That's it for us. Take care. You listened all the way to the end. We appreciate that. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Ear for Fear Podcast, Twitter at Ear for Fear, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Ear for Fear Podcast. You can also check out our website, earforfear.com. There we list news and events. We're available on all the main platforms, so make sure you tell a friend. We hope you come back and get an earful.